This is totally an authentic start to
Hey,
this
this is
app.
like our 15th start.
Yeah, this is not our
Hello,
27th take at
what's up,
all.
guys? How are
Our brains are just
you?
so fried.
So fried.
We
I don't
were
know what
like
it
we were like
is.
trying to start talking about how we just finished off campus, which by
Yes.
the time this is out, I don't know if people are going to be talking about it anymore, but
No, it's gonna be a different show. It's
yeah.
gonna be a different show.
But
Like that's life, you
hey,
know?
as someone who doesn't even watch that kind of show typically, it was not a bad time.
She watched it. I was so surprised because I genuinely don't think Christine would watch that kind of show.
No, I really don't. Not a show I would tune in for. But and the first episode a little painful, really corny. But like you were kind of saying this too, but like men that are written by women.
I remember watching. I watched this one time, not one time through with my sister, but I watched a couple episodes with my
Hmm.
sister before I watched with her.
Hmm.
And when he's like whispering in her ear at that party upstairs, and he's like,
Oh,
"This is the part where I say all the things that I'm gonna do to you," in her ear. And when I saw that one scene, because that scene was on the promotions, like
uh-huh.
when they were
Oh,
advertising the show,
really? That would not have sold me.
my ovaries just like kind of shrunk back
Yeah.
in, like, and whoop, all the eggs went right back up my fallopian tube. They're like, "No, girl, you are
Yeah.
not ovulating today."
Sorry, but college kids just don't talk like that.
They
They're having these like
don't.
deep introspective conversations while in real life like hot college dudes like that, I'd be like, bro, where the putt at?
Where the
Like,
pot at? Oh, I had the best
who's
pot
gonna let
last
me
night.
hit? Who's gonna let me hit? So it's very unrealistic, but
So
it
unrealistic.
was cute at times.
It's so interesting that a lot of young adult shows they make. It's interesting that college and high school shows they make the background, like high school and college, a place where people explore parts of humanity, and
Mm-hmm.
that's so interesting to me because I don't think kids are that awakened yet at
Yeah.
that age.
I mean, I when I was a college student, I don't know what I was doing besides like watching YouTube videos. I can't lie.
Was not. I was having shitty dining hall pizza and studying. That was it.
Yeah, but
No.
I don't know. Maybe some kids are doing it differently
Yeah,
nowadays.
maybe
But
they are. Maybe
yeah.
this is like a different campus that I've never. I went to Rutgers, by the way, New Jersey, big New Jersey state
Hmm.
school. I'll tell you straight off the bat, it's nothing like off campus.
I went to Hunter in the city, commuter college, so no one's doing anything.
No one's talking to each other.
Yeah, we're not doing shit but like come into class and come out. So, didn't get that
No,
experience.
no, no.
Although even if I was on campus, I don't think I don't know. I wouldn't have
Does
I
Hunter
wouldn't have been
even
out
have
like
on
that.
campus like dormitories?
Well, they do, but most so they have to split up their dormitories in different neighborhoods.
Oh.
I don't know why, but yeah. So for example, Hunter's on like East 68th Street, and like one of their dormitories is at like 94th or something like that.
That's so far.
Yeah, but
It's like 30 blocks away.
yeah,
What the fuck?
yeah.
Well, that sucks. Oh my
Were
gosh.
you? Did you have like? Because we didn't know each other super well in college.
We
Like we
didn't.
knew of each other vaguely. Did you have like a lot of good friends in college, or were you kind of just like chilling by
I
yourself?
think so. I think the best friends that I made that I still hang out with to this day are from college.
Really?
Yeah. What about you?
Mm.
Her friend group, very diverse. When I went to her
Hmm.
birthday party, she has friends from high school that she's still
Yeah,
really close to. She has friends from college that she's close
yeah.
to. She has friends from grad school, people she met while studying abroad. It's like crazy.
Yeah, college itself, I didn't really make many friends during because it's such a commuter college. But yeah, I feel like all my friendships are spread out through my life, and it's not tons of them. It's like one person from my childhood, one person from middle school, one person from high school. But it's like interesting because I had like one friend group in high school maybe, and I had a falling out with
Mm.
them. But overall, I tend to have these like individualized friendships that I kind of deepen over time.
What was the reason you fell out? Was it a dude?
No, we were fucking nerds. We were not having dudes in high school. Don't worry about that. It was like one of those like okay, so in high school, Lynn Manuel Miranda's alma mater, but I went to Hunter College High School in the city, and really traumatizing. Not going to go into that today, but I ended up just gravitating towards the other Korean kids in the school because
Mm-hmm.
like our moms were talking together.
Mm-hmm.
Like you don't know anyone else because we're all coming from different neighborhoods for the most part. The one Staten Islander, hey,
Alone.
hey. But yeah, so I ended up gravitating towards the Korean kids, which is not what I usually do. I'm like, oh, honestly, when more than like four Korean people are together at one time, it just gets a little toxic.
It does.
And we just had like, I won't get so much into it because hey, if that girl's watching, no hard feelings. Like we were all angsty, depressed teens, so it's okay. Preteens, I guess. But there was one girl who was kind of like the ringleader, I would say, and she was the type of girl that was like, all right, well now we're gonna ostracize this one in the group. Now we're gonna ostracize. It's like I think she liked the control, so I
Oh,
remember she like wanted me to like talk shit about one of the girls in the group, and I was just like confused by that. And then I ended up being the one that was kind of being left out. But like I don't know, I don't take that. So I was like, I'm over this, and I just like left that group.
it's giving Sky Castle.
You know, there's some truth to shows like that. I can't lie.
I won't lie, Sky Castle, you might think it's completely dramatized, but I feel like Korean people are that
Yeah,
evil.
yeah. But like that was a hard time because I was
Yeah.
like I had no friends for a bit, and then like Sophia and Jenny, my close friends, I kind of clicked with
Sophia
them.
and Jenny is such a Korean name. Oh my
They're
god.
not Korean, neither of them.
Really?
Hey, I was like, I'm
Oh
giving
my
up on the
god. You're
Koreans.
talking about Sophia and Jenny. Your friend. No,
My
I've met them
friends, yeah,
before.
yeah.
Duh, duh, duh.
But I gave up on the Koreans at this point, which
No.
I have plenty of good Korean friends now, but
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. That's like how high school was for me.
Did you hang out with Korean people in college? K
I
triple C.
wasn't. Oh yes! Wow, war flashbacks. Oh my god, yes,
That's
K
how we
Triple C.
met.
Yeah, context. It's like a Korean Christian campus ministry. Is that how
Yeah.
you would describe it?
Mhm.
Again, I joined just because I was like, I don't know how else I'm gonna like click with people because I'm in such a commuter college. Um, Pretty evil place, not gonna lie, but did make some good friends from it, so can't complain.
We would have never met if
Yeah,
she never did that
yeah.
because we met through a mutual friend. So, is it okay if we use real names here? We do,
If we're
right?
saying positive
We're
stuff,
saying positive
yeah.
things. Okay, Alicia Park. So, so Korean. We're all so Korean. So,
Yeah, I don't
Alicia,
think anyone's gonna figure out who's who. We're
they're
like
not gonna know.
Grace Kim.
Grace
There's
Kim, it's
500
like,
million in the world.
okay,
Yeah,
like 10,000 in SoCal
yeah,
alone.
yeah.
Literally, we have this friend named Alicia Park. She went to Rutgers with me,
Hmm.
and she did K triple. We did K triple C together. She's in K triple C and Hunter. They met on missions, got really really close,
Hmm.
and then I met her at one of her birthday parties, and
Hmm.
then we just like hit it off from
Yeah,
there. I don't know. We really liked
yeah,
each other, really vibed each other.
yeah,
Didn't really hang out with each other while we were in college, but after we graduated,
yeah.
and I would see her occasionally at like Alicia's events, like birthday parties or
Hmm.
something's going on. I'm like, oh, we should hang out.
Yeah,
And then we started hanging out
yeah.
independently, and we're like, we like each other. And now
Hey,
we're friends. We're
yeah, she
good
wanted this
friends.
book.
She won this book.
But I will say, like, I look back on stuff like that and I'm like, this is why building friendships, sometimes it starts from an opportunity you wouldn't expect. Because, like, now at this point in my life, I actually really regret going on that missions trip. Just because, like, the whole concept of mission trips and
Mhm.
thinking about what I was doing there, I don't know if I
Mhm.
fully agree with that anymore. But, like, I've built really beautiful friendships through that opportunity because I met people I would never meet. But it's like, yeah, I think about all the time. Like, I know we wanted to talk about like friendships in general, but I feel like sometimes I've been asked too, like, how do you make friends at this point in your life? And like, I don't know, it's there's no clear set of advice. I never want to be one of those people where it's like you have to do this, because I
Mhm.
know it's really hard objectively to
Mhm.
make solid friendships. But like, sometimes, how should I phrase this? Sometimes the opportunity for a friendship may not be packaged in the most positive way, if
Yeah.
that makes sense. Like,
Yeah.
who would have thought that this like missions trip that like I don't necessarily agree with leads to like so many of these other fruitful things after the
Yeah.
fact.
It's like meeting a bestie in prison, you know? Your
Right.
circumstances are not ideal,
Yeah.
but the bonds that you
Right.
make, like,
Yeah.
you know,
Exactly.
like Shawshank Redemption. Like
Yes. That makes total sense. I think that's really going to resonate with someone.
I think they will. I think they will. You're right though. I think if you didn't go to college or if you did go to college and you were a commuter, it was just really difficult to build a community. Building a community gets difficult as you
Hmm.
get older,
Hmm.
naturally, just because you have to be more intentional about going out.
Hmm.
It's more challenging, I think, as you get
Yeah.
older.
I have this random tip, but it worked for me. I'm like, when people are like, how do I find these new people to like get to know and become friends with? Some of my friends are people like that I've reconnected with from my past.
I
Like I have a
see.
couple of really close friendships where we had this random like couple of years in between where we were barely talking.
Mm-hmm.
And like I feel like I mean, like, I'm not saying hit up everyone from your past, but there's something to be said there, like, there were people from my past that I was like, well, I don't know if I want to try reaching out because, like, I didn't like who I was at that time, or that
Mm-hmm.
was like a really dark period of my life.
Mm-hmm.
But it works sometimes. I don't know. Just being open to that.
You it's hard for me because I really did not like people from high school.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
But it's nice because she has friends from high school. I feel like they trauma bonded together
Oh,
low key
totally.
because it's
Trauma
just
bonding.
I think I went to you also went to a pretty white high school, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the people who know with this school, but it's like there's a very clear dichotomy of like the kids who got in through the admissions test
Mm-hmm.
or the kids who moved up from the elementary school. And like, no hate, but if you go to a gifted elementary school, that just means you're rich.
Yeah.
Because like, what really distinguishes you as a gifted kid? It's your parents being able to prep you for this like little stupid test as a child.
Exactly.
But it's like most of those kids were white. Most of us who took the test and got in were like some sort of Asian.
Yeah. Exactly. It's just so I went to public school,
Hmm.
and I'm just from a very predominantly white town, so I
Hmm.
feel like the people who I was friends with are either the majority of my friends in high school were white.
Mm.
And I don't really resonate with them or have much in common
Hmm.
with them now,
Hmm.
So it's like maybe if I see them at a cafe, I'll like be friendly with them, but I just
Mm.
like it's difficult.
Yeah.
And I was ostracized by the POC in my high school. Not because
Interesting.
I did anything bad. It's just because like the Asian kids from my high school were really fucking smart. They were really
Oh.
smart.
Uh
And
huh.
so I was not a part of that elite group.
Hmm.
Um like you know, I was like medium average Asian where you take like maybe 2 or 3 AP classes,
Mm.
a year. They were like straight up I'm going to go to an Ivy League and I was just not at
Right.
that level. So it's just difficult to make friends who
Hmm.
are so much smarter than
That's
you.
fair. That's fair.
But I wish I had that though. I wish I could just go
Yeah.
back and connect.
Well, I did have a few of those friends who were too smart for me in
Yeah.
the high school I went to.
Mhm.
Like I remember when it was like college app season, ugh, so many kids crying in the library, but like one time this girl I was sort of friends with, she was just crying about how like I got into Columbia but I didn't get into Harvard and my mom thinks Harvard's doctor medical program whatever is better. I'm like, you're talking to me. Like, let's have some perspective here.
Like I'm okay, that's great. Like
Yeah, yeah. But I don't know.
my parents were like I don't know. Every Asian parents, all Asian parents have high hopes for their children
Hmm.
like that.
Hmm.
But no, yeah, it's I had the same thing. People would like cry all the time. I used to play casual recreational basketball. Um, basketball through this Catholic basketball league,
Okay.
a Mary Mother of God. I would
Yeah.
literally play with them, and the girls would literally cry if they lost a basketball game. And I'm like,
Mm.
ladies, what are the stakes here? Like,
Ladies,
they're act
ladies.
ladies. I'm just like, what are the stakes here? Like, do you
Yeah.
think we're like 13, 14. Do you think a D1 basketball recruiter is coming to Mary Mother of God Church on a Tuesday?
Yeah.
Like, come
Oh,
on, ladies. Like,
yeah.
it doesn't matter. Why are the
Yeah.
stakes so high?
Yeah. Thank gosh. Maybe I just realized like what I'm not good at, but like I've always been too chill. I'm like, if I lose, like, who
I
cares?
don't give a shit. I don't
Yeah.
give a shit.
I don't know.
I That's why it's interesting because I think a lot of the people in my family are super competitive though. My brother is
Mm. Oh,
extremely
really?
competitive. My sister is very competitive and the people that they're with, it's so interesting. My brother and my sister are both right now with like D1. They used to be former D1
Oh,
athletes.
okay.
And so the way that they view training and winning is such an interesting concept to me because like my parents never pushed us that far with sports.
Hmm.
So it is kind of inspiring to see what that potential could have been. But like, I don't know, for me personally, I just never understood the stakes of like sports
Mm-mm,
in
don't
that way.
care. Don't
No,
care.
don't care.
Couldn't care.
Yeah, same when I watch sports too. I'm just like, oh no,
Yeah.
and then I go and like do my laundry. Like,
Yeah. Well, I'm also
no.
like stupid about sports, so I don't know what's really going on. Like, I'll go to a Mets game for fun, for shits and giggles, but like, I just cheer when I hear everyone else cheer. I'm like, he shot the shot, yay! Like, I'm like, don't know what's going on, don't care,
You
don't
know,
understand
you
rules.
know when a pitcher hits a no hitter, no
You're
hitter
starting to lose me, but okay.
no hitter has like to me. I always thought that was negative connotation. So this girl that I knew in high school, she was like playing softball. She's like, oh yeah, I pitched a no hitter, like 7 no hitters, and I was like,
Oh, I'm
oh,
so
I'm
sorry.
so sorry. And she's like, what? And I was like, oh, I mean, you couldn't hit any of the balls. She's like, no, I'm a pitcher. She's like, it's good that they didn't hit the balls. And I was like,
Oh,
the gears rolling in my
oh,
head. I'm like,
yes,
oh,
yeah,
congratulations. Like, that's how dumb I am. Like,
yeah,
I swear to God. Like,
yeah. I mean,
no,
you
but
know, people say like to find friends through hobbies. Do you feel like that works for you?
for sure.
Okay, it does
For
work for
sure.
you.
I think as an adult too, um, listen, your life is probably like 80% work and then the other like 10 or 20% is gonna be hobbies.
Mm,
So that's like the only off time where you're doing something that you're passionate about.
hmm.
If you meet somebody through there, I feel like it's been great. Do you meet
Yeah,
people through hobbies, you think?
I don't. Maybe it's because I'm working on having hobbies right now, but I don't know if I don't think I have any friends that are from hobbies.
Interesting.
Yeah, but I could work on that, I guess. I freaking join my local Dungeons and Dragons like, a group or
there's
something.
there's only two sides of the spectrum. It's either you do Dungeons and Dragons
Yeah,
or you do D&D or you do pickleball.
yeah.
There's no in between.
Especially, I'm sorry, if you're Asian American, I'm getting a little sick of it. I can't lie, but it's like I'm like, especially if I go on a first date and they're Asian American, I'm like, all right, so before you even have to say it, like, do you enjoy bouldering? Are you in a run club? Like,
Let's just get
what
this
the
out of the
hell?
way.
What the hell else is there? There's more to that. Oh, how much do you like raving? Right? It's like,
You have to get those all down because it's just you can't find an Asian person who's not in at least one of those
mhm,
or enmeshed in one of
yeah,
those
yeah,
activities. Like, and it's like, wow. I feel like I wish when we were younger or in college there was like a hobby career, like
hmm.
a hobby fair or something like
Oh,
that. Yeah,
really?
because
Hobby
like a
fair?
hobby fair, for people to go around and be like, hey, maybe I'm really into knitting, or like
Uh huh.
maybe I'm really into like pottery or
Yeah.
ceramics, because literally everybody is just into running, pickleball, raving,
Yeah.
or that's it.
Yeah.
But nothing.
I will say, like, I feel like going into the hobby to make friends should only be if you truly love the hobby. I've heard some girls who like really want to date be like, well, maybe I just have to join a run club, and I'm like, you don't have to do anything. I promise.
I promise too that with run clubs, I feel like you the majority of run clubs you're just working out together. You're not like, a lot of them aren't super bondy. Like,
Hmm.
let's be honest, most of the time you're just like working. You run together and you high five each other and you're like,
Hmm.
good job, and
Yeah.
then you just go back home. Like,
Right.
you're not really like, it's not super community building some
No.
activities. And pickleball though is kind of different. I would say that there's a huge community that's being
Yeah.
built with like pickleball.
Yeah.
You see this pickleball, you see the same people,
Hmm.
especially in New Jersey. You see the same people, the same courts over and over again.
Hmm.
And I know this even from just playing pickleball like a stray 4 to 5 times,
Hmm.
but same people play pickleball over and
Hmm.
over again. But
Yeah.
it is challenging though. Hobbies aren't just enough because it just, I don't know, friendships just take more to cultivate than that.
Yeah. And I feel bad for people who are truly lonely because I think I'm also fortunate in the friendship realm due to pure luck sometimes.
Yes, yes.
Sometimes it takes a lucky encounter.
Hmm.
Although I will say, some people one short rant. Some people who complain about having no friends, I think about the person they are. I'm like, have you thought about making sure you're a good person first?
That is so challenging.
I don't know. I've met some people who are like really complaining about being lonely, and I know them well enough. And I'm like, well, you're unlikable to be around, and you only talk about yourself. So I wonder
Yeah.
why.
You only talk about yourself. Okay. I I'm not gonna say who this is
Mhm.
specifically because I
Mhm.
feel like maybe they are self aware enough to know who
Yeah.
they are.
Well, if I get really good at editing, you could say it and I'll like do a massive beep sound over it or something.
No, she's definitely gonna see this. But I have friends where like they'll not reach out to me in a while
Mhm.
and then get so upset. Like when I see them again. Yeah, well, they'll get
Really?
upset when I see them again. They'll be like, "You never reached out." And I'm just like, "Oh, can we not do this?" I'm just
It's
like,
oh my
"We're too
god.
old to do
Yeah.
this." I'm just like, "First of all, it's a two-way street. If you want to say me, say hi. If I
Yeah.
want to say you, I'll say hi. It doesn't have to why are you putting the sole blame on
That
me?
makes
You're
no
also an
sense.
individual with
Yeah.
agency too." Or like yeah you know you're right like you're friends with a lot of people who are very self-absorbed and when you meet up with them it's because like they have so much they have to share about
Mhm.
themselves to you. It's like I have to tell you all this and
Mhm.
it's never like how are you, how was your
Yeah.
life
Yeah.
going, and it's like you know you can deal with it for so long but you get older and you're just
Yeah.
like like you're like oh shit I have that like planned with them today and it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
oh, I don't really have the energy to go see them because it's draining to be with somebody who is so self-absorbed.
Totally,
Oh my
totally.
god.
And that's why it's like I think like if you're feeling that way cuz I know I was hard to be around when I was like an angsty depressed preteen. I know that. And
That
that's why I
was
spend so
so
much time
long ago
alone.
though,
Yeah,
yeah.
but like what I'm saying is that like if you're feeling so lonely, I think it's good to be introspective and think about like, well, how do I want to like better myself?
Yeah,
And I do feel to an extent you attract good people when you're being good.
I
You know,
agree.
something I'm like trying is a goal for myself, and I haven't been doing so great with it. Is like I really want to volunteer more because I
Mm,
feel like that's a great way to meet people you normally might not meet, and then you also do something fulfilling. You know, you
yeah.
can't like are you going to complain that you like helped out with this cause at the end of the
Mhm.
day even if you didn't like make friends or whatever?
I'd love to. I'd love to volunteer more.
Yeah.
It's like I have no excuse, honestly. I
Hmm.
just like it's not like the first thing on my mind, but I'd love to. I'd love to be a part of a community. I'd love to support the community.
Hmm.
And I do feel like people do make good friendships through that.
That's what I've
Yeah.
heard, especially if you're like the problem with me is I do a lot of like one-off volunteering things, but I know a lot of people make really good or find really good community by doing more like consistent volunteering with some sort of nonprofit or organization.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think you would be. I was just thinking about this, but there are a lot of people who move. I mean, because, okay, so we're from the tri state area, and there
Hmm.
are a lot of people who move from other states to here for different opportunities. So we
Hmm.
get a lot of transplants. Like, we get a lot of people moving here. Like, sometimes I wonder how difficult it is for them to, like, make friends, you know?
Totally, totally.
Yeah. New York is low key different, though, because, like, so many people aim to go there after
Hmm.
graduation.
Hmm.
So like I feel like the majority of my friends, and I'm from New Jersey, so the majority of my friends ended up just staying around the area.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah.
nothing too crazy, but
Yeah.
like I do wonder if you are in other states, like how it feels when
Mm.
all of your friends like just split up and go completely different places.
That's a good point. And
Yeah.
I do think like the age you're at is a factor. Like I know that objectively a lot of people find it harder to make friends once you're past a certain age.
Hmm.
And that's just, fact.
Well, because when you get older, you just have competing priorities,
Uh-huh.
right? Like you have your job, and if you have children, listen, if you have a family, like you have a husband and kids, I won't lie, at that point, I feel like it becomes really challenging to meet friends. Because it's
Totally.
like, how do you prioritize friendships?
Totally.
And I worry about that too. And it's like, if I become a parent, if I decide to, I don't know, having children is kind of up in the air for us,
Who, I don't know.
both. But if I do decide to have a family, I'm like, how do I prioritize friendships?
Mm.
You know?
Yeah, I can't even like especially because I worked with kids, I simply can't imagine working with kids and I'm exhausted. And
Yeah,
usually I come home and I have to be nonverbal and not move for like 2 hours at least.
literally.
But like imagining coming home and a kid is like, "Where's my chicken nuggets?" I'm
That's my
going to kill
13th
you.
reason.
I'm
I'm
going to
literally
kill you.
sometimes like I have panic attacks or like I have a really rough day at work and I'm like, oh my god, if I had a kid right now, I'd literally blow my brains
No,
out. I
literally.
can't.
I don't like I know that like, some of my coworkers have kids and I'm like, "How are we doing the same job?" and, and you have a kid on top of that?
I
Uh,
I genuinely can't. I just don't have the
yeah.
bandwidth
Yeah.
for that. And I okay. So like I have religious friends who've had children and had families
Mhm.
very early.
Mhm.
And every time I hang out with them, it's just challenging because I feel like they're already very fatigued, and I feel like a burden. And I know that they want to hang out, they want me to be there, but I do feel like a burden at times. And
Hmm.
like, you know, like I don't know. I feel like some of them low key just really want me to have children, so
Hmm.
like I can relate with them better. Like it's
Interesting.
so interesting, and I don't know if
Yeah.
you've experienced this dynamic, because a lot of our mutual friends who have children already, they are not like that at
Right.
all.
That,
They're very
yeah.
cool, very cool. But I have some friends who are already moms, and they're like, yeah, that really annoying thing where like, oh, you need to have kids one day so you understand. And like I'm
Interesting.
just like,
Kind of annoying.
but I'm like, it kind of sounds like sadistic of you
Yeah.
that like you want me to go through this, like, I don't know, some unknown torture for me to
Yeah.
understand like what you're going through. And I understand motherhood is not easy. Motherhood is the most challenging thing that most challenging journey that you will embark on in your life. But like something about that sounds so like punitive and weird.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't really like hang out with them anymore,
Right.
because I just it's first of all, that you view child rearing as like a punishment. I'm like, I don't know. You did have a choice. Like they're married. I'm like, you did have a choice to not
Mhm.
have kids. You didn't
Right.
have
Right.
to. But I'm like, I don't know. Some people view. Some people like my friends are like that.
I think why I'm finding it hard to relate to that is Alicia's my only close friend who
Literally.
has a kid, and she is. I think the reason why I still and she's also moved out of state, but the reason why I can still feel a closeness to her is that she is her own person outside of her husband and her child. So I feel like I still have the Alicia
Yes.
that I first became friends with,
Yes.
and it's like that's what I would want if I became a parent. Like I think to make it easier on you to maintain these friendships is you've had to already have that independence and like have those interests and that identity outside of those people, like
Mhm.
the classic like person who takes on the identity of the whoever they're in a relationship with, right?
Mhm.
It's like, well, yeah, it's going to be hard to make friends because you only know yourself in relation to this person. You've got to have your own stuff going on outside of that, you know what I mean?
That's the thing too, and you'd be surprised to find that a lot of people, the majority of
Mm-hmm.
people, have children, get married because they want attention, they want people's love and their adoration,
Mm-hmm.
and not. And I feel like those people, I feel like, don't really have an identity outside of being a wife
Mm-hmm.
or a mother,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
it's thus really challenging to be friends with them. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's just tough. It's tough to be friends with people through different stages of their life, especially
Mm-hmm.
when you're not there with them.
Yeah.
Even with my friends who are married and don't have children, it's difficult for me to relate because I'm like, oh, yeah, like I'm not married. I don't
Yeah.
have those issues. Like, at the end of the day, you have to come home to somebody, your husband that you're married with, and I, uh, I ultimately don't relate to.
Yeah. But I do think that's like the most telltale sign of a strong friendship is
Yes.
when like obviously when you first become wow, sorry, my brain like my neurodivergent
No,
brain, I'm like
literally,
noticing how fucking bad my bruise looks.
it's so bad.
Okay, anyways, I'm all right, guys. No diseases, but like anyways, coming back to this. The most like obviously when you first become friends with someone, it's usually like simply just due to proximity or like you
Yeah.
enjoy the same things, right? But like I feel like the closest friendships I have now, I'm so different from them, but it's like choosing one another through your differences and throughout the different stages of your life simply because you make that commitment to each other and like you think that's that person is a good person and you can like share these feelings together is like how I know a friendship's gonna last. Like
Mm,
that's why, yeah, as you put it, my friends are really different from me, but like I still feel close to them even though they're so different from me. Like that's not what's gonna like separate me from them.
that's good.
Yeah.
I I have some deep diving to do. I'm like I feel like I'm at a crossroads in my life again where I just really need to evaluate
Hmm.
friendships in my life and the
Interesting.
people that I have in my
Hmm.
life, because I don't know. I think I've been friends with people who are just very swept up with their new identity, and it's very difficult to
Mm.
penetrate that. And I
Yeah.
want to be them there for their journey for them. But it's challenging because I think inherently some people when they get married and they have children, like it's just difficult to find the same, like I don't know. I don't feel valued as somebody who's just like single and childless.
Totally.
You
Yeah,
know what
I
I
get
mean?
it.
It's like
Yeah.
it's hard. It's like they think that marriage and having children is them growing up and
Mhm.
developing and
Mhm.
maturing, and they
Mhm.
think that they've left me behind.
Mm.
And I get that from some people sometimes, and it's like hurtful because
Mhm.
it's like that's just not our journeys. And also, getting married and having children does not make you a better person. Sometimes
Oh.
it's one of
Uh-uh.
those things where it brings out the worst in you
Yeah.
sometimes. So I'm just like, I don't know. Are
Yeah.
you better than me? Have you developed into somebody else and
Yeah.
somebody new? I it's just hard for me because I think I'm friends with people who think that they've like kind of left me in the dust.
I get
You
that.
know, and
Yeah.
it's very condescending and it's very mean and it's hurtful because like I don't know. Not everybody gets through milestones in their life like that at
Mhm.
the same time. And also, we need to start getting rid of the idea that these should be milestones that are worthy. Not that getting married and having children aren't like great adventures in your life, but should they be milestones to indicate your worth and
Yeah.
value as a human
Yeah.
being? I don't think so. And it's hard because, life is just like a list of check box like boxes that you want to check.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I feel like it basically I'm having a hard time being friends with people who still align to that belief of like checking off
Yeah.
boxes and thinking that like you're elevating or going up this pyramid of life. You're
Yeah.
becoming a better human being as you mark off those check boxes. But
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry to hear you feel that way. Although I really feel like you can't control it to an extent
you
because it's like
can't.
a regional thing.
It is a
Sorry,
regional
I'm
thing.
like being in New York City. You have like people who are reinventing themselves at like 33, which like like cool for them, you know. And it's like I don't feel as much pressure in that regard.
New York City is so great, or any kind of metropolitan city is great in that you will have these independent ass people. People, I know people who are like, I'm 50 and I'm just discovering that like I don't like men,
Yeah.
like,
Hey.
eh, or just like people who are rediscovering themselves at any point in their lives because it's possible. I don't understand what that whole obsession is centered and our or how much we're centered on youth because you can restart your
Mhm.
life at any
Mhm.
point.
Mhm.
But like there's so many people in New York that are like that. But you come down to New Jersey
Mhm.
and it's very suburban. Like
Mhm.
everybody's just obsessed with having a family, hitting milestones at work.
Mhm.
Like that is just all life becomes
Oh
sometimes.
my gosh, I want to like find the screenshot I took of like a quote from where all the greatest philosophers and poets are, TikTok.
Yeah.
Um let me find it. Oh my god, it was a quote that like, I'm sure I'm sure this TikToker didn't come up with it, but I just like screenshotted it cuz it made me think, did I freaking
It's like
delete it?
do one thing
Oh, here.
that's oh you found it?
I found it. Okay. I screenshotted it. So, oh my gosh, isn't this such a beautiful quote? Until death, all defeat is psychological.
That is an amazing
I
quote.
heard that TikTok. I was like, with a freaking like highway in the background. Like, I was like, whoa, I got to think about that one. But it's true. It's like we build up like these ideas of like, oh, we failed or whatnot. But I'm like, until death, all defeat and failure is psychological. Because what do you really fail at?
Nothing.
Like, you break up with someone, that's not a failure, right?
That's such a good
It's,
reframe.
yeah.
I love that, guys. I needed that. I
Yeah.
needed to hear that.
Our greatest minds are on TikTok.com. Really, Socrates could
I'm
never.
dead.
And it might literally be a
It's
Socrates quote. Who knows?
this is probably like a 12-year-old who has like
No, yeah,
an
yeah.
AO3
Oh my
account.
God! Stop the AO3 writers. Like they're writing straight up heat, and they're a freaking 12-year-old in a different country whose English is not their first language.
Was it what is it? Is it Eleanor Roosevelt who's like do one thing that scares you every day
Ooh,
I don't know,
really?
something crazy. I've literally seen I've like seen AO3 like articles or like fan fictions that start off with those quotes and
Oh.
then it's just like Kai starts sucking things and oh
Yeah,
God
yeah.
damn
Oh,
it.
I love art.
Oh, me too.
Art is so great.
But yeah, I love that
Isn't
quote.
that a great
I
quote?
think more people who live here need to live by that,
Mm-hmm.
and I just I don't find fulfillment in the same milestones that other people do. Hence, probably why I'm still single and I'm not married yet. But
Yeah.
because, you know, I do think that a lot of people force being with somebody because they just really want to hit
Mhm.
that milestone.
Yeah.
And you know what, though? In corporate culture, like, it is like socially kind of not acceptable to be single
Mhm.
when you hit a certain
Oh,
age.
really?
Yeah,
Okay.
people kind of like view you in a weird way, like you have more respect or reverence from others if you have a family and children, you
Hmm.
know? Like, for example, yeah, like if you're a single woman at work, they kind of just start thinking like, oh, she's kind of like weird, you know? Not
Okay.
nobody will go out of their way to treat you weird in that
You
way.
can just catch the
You
vibe.
can kind of catch the vibe
Mhm.
though, and like for me personally, like I really just try to keep those things secret at work
Mhm.
because like I I don't really understand why people, especially in a corporate job, people find ways to just like blab and like say a lot about yourselves because
Mhm.
I don't know. I've just had very bad instances in the past where maybe I've opened up to a coworker and then it just gets like weaponized against me
Hmm.
in the future. But like there is definitely a negative view from others if you're at a specific age and you are single. And like, do you get this way? But sometimes with like when you meet other people, opposite gender, obviously, like they start feeling uncomfortable really fast, so they mention their girlfriend or wife like really early on in the
Ooh.
conversation. I get that so much, and I know most of the time it's like harmless. It's just like,
Mhm.
oh, it's because they're thinking about their girlfriend and their wife, and I love that. But
Yeah.
but sometimes I can tell it's because they think that I'm like hitting on them or coming on to
Hmm.
them, and they need to say that in order to establish a boundary
Interesting.
immediately. And to me, when people do that a little too early on, it throws me off and it makes me feel like, oh, do you think I'm like coming on to you or something?
Interesting.
Because some men at work are not super socialized, and work is the only place that they're talking to people of the opposite gender or having to interact with
Yeah.
people of the opposite gender. So, like, when they interact with you, they feel the need to bring that in really soon, really early to like, deter you from doing
Yeah.
anything. Or maybe to deter them.
Mm.
I know that some people do that because I don't know, they don't want to seem like they're coming
Yeah.
on to somebody, but
Well, I thought really hard as you were talking, and I was like, I just work with so many women and queer people that like I'm like, do I even have like straight men in the workplace? I was like really thinking
no,
about
I
it.
literally only work with straight people or like extremely closeted people.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the corporate world is just like that. But like, I only work with other straight people, so I feel like I was like talking to somebody on like a different team, and like I was just like, oh my gosh, hi, how are you? I love what you're wearing today. And he was just like, yes,
She's
thank
coming
you.
on to me. She's
He's
coming
just
on to
coming
me.
on to me. She's coming on to me. He's just like, yeah, well, he's just like, my wife told me that she didn't really like
Yeah.
it, and I was like, oh, okay, like
That's so funny
it's
to
it's like
me.
interest. If he said something like, oh, my wife picked it out for me, I wouldn't have thought of
Yeah.
anything because I'm
Yeah.
just like, oh,
No.
because the only reason why
That's
you're dressed is
so
because your wife
funny.
dressed you. But like they're just like, oh yeah, my wife hated this outfit. And I'm like, oh, it's interesting that you
Okay.
brought it in
Yeah.
like so early. You think that I'm
Yeah.
coming on to you, and I realized it's mostly because straight men don't know how to take a compliment.
Yeah.
They don't. They're just like, oh, thanks. And I'm
Yeah.
just like, yeah, I'm just like
Maybe
being nice.
maybe it's also because straight men only see woman's value in accordance to their romantic and sexual
So
desires. So
true.
it's like instead of seeing you as just this crazy thought, just this human,
Yeah.
like, they're like, ah, this sexual romantic, I don't know, temptating mistress over here. I don't know.
Like if you're not somebody's as a straight man, if you're not a straight man's wife or like family,
Hmm.
you are like nothing to them. You are like vapor. It feels weird.
Mm.
And, yeah, it's just weird. I mean, some men are much like are socialized much better, so
Hmm.
you don't feel that, but I think when I go to work sometimes, like there's just this very, very weird line that I have to balance and toy with so
Hmm.
that I don't cross over that line and they feel uncomfortable. And trust me, sometimes that line is like really thin. I can't even compliment them or like say hello or
Mhm.
like how are you, even to people on my team who are like really close. It's like it's weird,
Yeah.
and it's not like with my current team. It's just something that I've noticed with like working in corporate for so long is that when you are a single woman, you do have to be careful with how you come off, and
Yeah.
it's annoying. That's why sometimes when I go to work, I have this like social anxiety because sometimes people make me feel some kind of way, even though it's not that deep. Like a
Yeah.
compliment or just like a hello or a friendly smile,
Yeah.
they make it seem like it's so much more sexual and so much more meaningful than it
That's
actually
so
is.
strange. You're like, "I like your shirt," and then you're like, "She's trying to get on this dick."
No,
Oh my god.
literally, and it's not even like that too. It's like even when I go out to parties and stuff like that too, I'll just be talking. I don't know if you feel the same way, but I'll just be talking to a guy and I'll just be like, yeah, 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 having a really, really nice conversation. And then they start talking about their girlfriend. I'm like, that's fine. But like sometimes they just bring it in way too early or they talk about their girlfriends or their
Mhm.
wives like way too much.
Mm,
And it's not that I don't want to hear about your girlfriend or your wife. It's just kind of like, um, okay, it feels like you're bringing this up because
man.
you think that I'm coming on to you, you know?
I'm realizing this is part of the reason why I'm single because like I'm just watching the straight men like they're zoo animals. Like I'm not talking to them. I'm like you're like when you talk to them, I'm like when I talk to them, when am I doing that?
Yeah.
Let me
When
reflect.
you talk to straight, oh, I don't talk to
No, I
them. Just
don't talk to them. I need to work on that, I suppose. Well, I have a question for you. It's pretty connected, but I feel like you have more straight male friends.
yes, yes.
And like what would you say to people who are like, you know how it's like so many people say like, "Oh, woman, cis women and men can't be friends." Oh.
It's so annoying, and I have like a lot of straight guy friends that my friends will like shit me with, which I don't care much about, but I think that says a lot about society where it's
Mm,
like, you just are consumed with the idea that straight women and straight men can't be friends
mhm,
together. And you totally can. Sometimes you are just not into somebody in that way.
mhm.
Or you've just built up such a rapport or a friendship that
Yeah.
that becomes more valuable than any kind of sexual feelings that you could have for that
Mhm,
person.
mhm,
And it's never a black and white. I'll never look at like my straight guy friend and go like, oh, like I'm not attracted to them. Like I would never date them.
mhm,
That thought is never 0% in my
mhm,
head, and I think that's an unrealistic expectation
mhm,
for anybody to have when they have straight friends.
mhm.
Um, but like, yeah, that thought always lingers in the back of my mind. But what's most important is our relationship and
Yeah.
like and our friendship that we've built up until now.
Yeah.
That's much more valuable than any kind of sexual relationships I can have for them. So like,
Yeah.
yeah, I have cute and good looking straight guy friends that like obviously I'll never do anything with because I love them and I view them as my friend. I value
Mhm,
value
mhm.
our friendship. But
Yeah.
yeah.
I agree. I agree. And also, if Logan from off campus was my friend, I'm sabotaging the friendship. I'm
Oh,
sabotaging it.
she
But
is in
that's
love with
yeah. If
Logan.
I had to pick, if I had to pick.
We were like watching the show and I remember being like, because Logan kind of looks like he could be another ethnicity, like he could have a
Yeah.
little, but no, we looked him up, he's just an Italian man.
Yeah, I was like, this one's got a little flavor to him. And then
Yeah.
I look him up and I'm like, let's see. And before I even look up like ethnicity, his name is it freaking ends with Cipriano. I'm like, so yeah, that's an Italian man.
She's from Staten. She just instantly, well, yeah, Cipriano's a very Italian name, but she's from
Yeah.
Staten, so she just knows the culture a little bit better.
The culture,
Yeah, the
yeah.
culture,
The Staten Island
the
culture.
seventh generation Italian
Yeah.
culture really well, but
That's my man.
she loves that guy. Oh my god.
He's just so cutie
He's
patootie.
so cutie patootie coded.
Oh,
He's just sweet. He's a good kid. Like,
yeah.
I
He's
don't
so
know.
responsible. You know, that frat house would be in shambles if it wasn't for what's the one that's always cooking? What's his
I
name?
always forget his name because you know why? The only reason he's on the screen is like either for comedic relief or because he's cooking or doing some shit in
Yeah.
the house.
Yeah.
Um,
That house would fall apart if it wasn't for those two.
no. Oh my god, the way he works in the kitchen. Oh my goodness. But
Yeah.
I think no, I would definitely. You know that song like I wanna ruin our
No.
friendship.
Wait,
We should
yes.
be lovers instead. That's
Uh,
me if I lived in the off-campus house. Like
Yeah.
I if he says like I don't know, I just like those kinds of men I like cannot be platonic with. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, but that those are some exceptions. Also, men like
Yeah.
that don't exist, so we don't have to worry
They
about
don't
it.
exist, so I don't have to worry about that.
We're not
Straight
worrying.
men don't actually exist like
Yeah.
that in real life,
And
so
even if they did, they don't want us, but it's okay.
yeah, they don't want
They
us.
don't want us.
No, they just want you know, an unassuming white girl with brown
Yeah.
hair,
And you
you
know what?
know.
And she's unique because she's brunette.
And oh my god, she is a brunette. She's
Yeah,
not like
she's
the
so
other
unique.
girls. Oh my god.
She's so unique.
No, not me though. But it's yeah, I think straight friends. A lot of people don't believe that men and two straight men and straight women can't be friends. But I
Hmm.
think it's possible. Again, that's totally up to you. But I don't think that. I think that's an unfortunate direction that society is
Yeah.
taking us in.
Yeah. How limiting. If you want to make friends, don't limit yourself, you
Yeah,
know?
just be friends with them.
Yeah.
But I will say though, like it can be tricky if you do end up liking somebody. That can always
Oh,
happen.
sure, sure,
There's always that threat of
sure.
that
Yeah.
happening, but other than that, everything is pretty smooth sailing. But yeah, it's just like it's I don't think straight men um who are in relationships know how to navigate like interacting with other women,
Mm,
you know? Um I know some guys who are super great about it though. And I
mm,
know that those men specifically are great boyfriends
mm-hmm,
because, they don't feel the need to be like, oh, I'm not going to talk to any other woman again
mm-hmm,
because I'm with this person.
mm-hmm.
Like, never, ever, ever. I'm just like, no, I'm like, you know, as like if I had a boyfriend, I would just want them to feel comfortable talking to other women, like,
Yeah.
going to parties without me being there and like interacting with other women and being social. Like I would not want, like how there was that argument of like, would you let your boyfriend go to the strip club?
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
like, listen, if a guy just wants to go to a strip club, that says a lot about their personality.
Yeah.
But am I gonna like stop them and like ban them from going to a strip club? Like, I'm not gonna do that. Like, you have free will.
Really? I'd have to think about
Ooh,
that one.
ooh. Or do we have a disagreement here?
Oof, let me think. To the strip club?
I
Ah,
can't. It's because I've been to a strip club before and I kind of like them. They're fun.
yeah, I'm sure it's fun. I, I don't know if I would trust my man like that. I can't lie.
I see. I see.
But I don't know. I'll think about that one. I'll think about that one.
I I think okay, I say this like out of my ass because I've never been in a serious long-term relationship before. I would like a guy to like I'm like I think we need to be okay with the fact that like, you know, even when you're dating somebody, like they're going to be attracted to other people. They're going to
Oh,
find
sure.
exactly, they're going to find
Sure.
other people attractive and I want that I want I want men to explore that attraction and that desire because I think that energy feeds into your relationship. Like it gives you creativity.
Mm.
Do I want him to go out and cheat and philander? No.
No.
But I think that when we create such strict rules for like our significant other, I think you kind of shoot yourself in the foot. Like like I don't know. You'll find people attractive.
Yeah.
Like I'm like you just need to learn to deal with that. You need to learn to set your internal boundaries. Everybody has boundaries. No matter you could be so in love with somebody and that doesn't negate the fact that you need to create boundaries when you go out and meet new
Hmm.
people, you know?
I will say I started laughing because this does remind me of our Ohio man that we're sister wives for.
Oh my god.
I'm like, oh, you say all that, but he has a whole wife outside of us. So what about that? How do you feel about that? I feel like we should tell the story without details.
We should.
Okay.
Basically, we know mutually. We randomly met this white guy who's from one of the flyover states. We met them, just randomly, and we follow him on Instagram, and I find it so weird when white people are just so enmeshed in Korean culture,
Mm-hmm.
like ups, and not even just like, oh, I love Korean food, I like Korean drama. It's like I specifically traveled to Korea and
Yeah.
like and I don't know how specific we should get.
He's not watching
You
it.
can cut this out. You can cut this out if you want to. But like this man is really young. Like when we met him, he was like what, like very early 20s. Um, he is like chatting up with ladies, random ladies online who are like in their 40s and 50s, Korean ladies, and planning vacations with
Mhm.
them so that they can show them around. I just find it so weird that like
Mhm.
some Korean men are just, or some men are just like obsessed with Korean culture in that way, or
Yeah.
Koreaboos. He's a Koreaboo, and so like she and I like will literally just like he'll post random stuff on Instagram on in Korean.
Uh-huh.
He'll be like, motorcycle 탔어요. Like he'll just like post like random shit
Yeah.
in Korean, and we'll send it. And me and Christine will joke and we'll be like, I wonder when her husband will come
Yeah.
home.
I've literally cooked up dinner, like I'm waiting on it at home, like that's my
And then
man.
we found out that, well, we saw this develop because I think we met this person like what, 2 years ago.
Something like
So
that.
like I think that within the first year we found out that he had a girlfriend. We're like, we feel so betrayed. Like,
Yeah.
come on, we have all this
Okay.
food and our
Yeah.
children are
Yeah.
waiting for you at
Yeah.
home. And then
Jebediah is literally asking for his dad at home.
literally, and then we find out this year that he's engaged.
I thought married engaged.
Is he married or
I don't know.
engaged?
It's
I
one
have
of the
no
two.
idea. And guess who it is? It's an Asian woman.
Woohoo!
Of
Ding ding
course.
ding.
But yeah, no, she and I love to joke about.
Yeah, we're sister wives, guys. We're
We
real,
are. I would agree to be sister wives with you, and our marriage group or our polycule is who would you I would want Dean and Logan.
Ooh,
What would you want, Garrett and Logan, or would you want Dean and Logan?
I'm good. Hey, either I'm not picky, but
That's true. That's
I
true.
think Dean and Logan I'm leaning a bit more
Me
towards.
too. So we're sister wives, and
Oh,
we just pass around Dean and Logan
yeah,
like a used cigarette in
yeah,
Europe, like
yeah.
like at a European
Oh, my
nightclub.
man,
Cigarettes at a European
my
nightclub.
man, my man.
Literally, they're both so fine.
Off campus, I get it. I get the hype a little bit.
We're just in a white guy phase right now, but
Yeah.
I feel like this is temporary for me personally. Um, I feel like my attraction to white guys like fade in, fade out.
Mm,
It just happens sometimes, and sometimes I'm just like, I just absolutely can't deal with
yeah.
white guys, you
Just
know?
just love a well written character, to
I
be
Yeah,
honest.
it's just because they're well written, not because they're white. Because I feel like we're gonna get Oxford study comments, you
Oh,
know?
all right.
All right, all
Also,
right.
like, why are you like? Why is it always talking to the woman in that situation? Why are
Literally.
you coming to me with that?
Bring
Go ask him.
it up to the white
Yeah,
guy. Like, why is the white guy
yeah,
so into us?
yeah.
Seriously. Yeah,
Let's not
that's.
get into
I
Asians because you
don't.
know where I can go. We're
No,
there.
no, let's not, because I have some opinions about Asians, and
You know,
none of you guys want to hear them.
no,
So,
no. And the Asian soldiers will come for us.
no, they
So
will.
we'll just we'll just stop.
Leve's
Hold that for
army.
another day.
Leve's
Yeah,
army.
yeah. Literally, is that how you say it?
Yeah, she's like,
Oh,
that's how you, Icelandic. That's how you say it in Icelandic. See, oh, I know how to say her name.
look at that. We respect them.
I know, but do we like them? That's a topic for another. I'm kidding, guys. We don't
Yeah,
hate Asians.
we don't.
We just have a very complicated
Yeah.
relationship with Asians.
There's just something. Actually, I'll shut up. I
Yeah, I'll
choose to
shut
shut
up.
up.
I
Actually,
We will politely
yeah,
refrain
yeah.
from
We're
speaking.
gonna like dissect this in our own time and then come back when it's a
Yeah.
little bit more packaged well. Okay?
Yeah, I feel like if we throw it up on you now, we won't get another episode. We
No,
will be banned from
no,
YouTube.
no. We're toting
Kidding,
this fine line right
kidding,
now.
guys. Nothing too
All
controversial.
love,
Yeah, all love,
all
all
love.
love. But no, yeah, it's yeah, navigating life as a single person is difficult. It just, again, becomes less socially acceptable to be
Mm-hmm.
single as you get older, naturally.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
You know,
naturally, right?
yeah.
But
I
also,
guess I
like,
gotta lock in.
I don't know. I mean, I guess I do too. But also, like, I don't like. I just want my happiness, right? Like, I'm
Yeah.
not gonna force myself to be with this person. And
Oh.
like, like, not to be too logistic about this, but like, at this point, I think the divorce rate is like 50%. So I'm looking at some of these couples that are already like fighting so much, and so, like their belief systems don't align, and I'm like, so who's not gonna last? Because it has to be some of you guys.
Divorces are so nasty
Yeah,
too. You don't understand that, like, it's not just like, all right, cool, clean, we're just gonna call it quits. Like,
yeah,
you don't just break up with them and block their number.
yeah,
It's like a legal battle.
yeah.
pursues, and it's
Yeah.
like, oh, who gets to keep what? When your accounts and your finances and everything are enmeshed together,
Yeah.
it becomes very difficult to
Yeah.
separate.
I
It's really tough, and you know what? If you're hasty, yeah,
yeah.
it's not gonna be
I mean, I'm
great.
not getting a divorce. I'm choosing the right one, and if I made a mistake, he's got to die.
He's gotta
I'm
die.
not getting a divorce.
We're going on like a boat trip together, and
Yeah.
only one of us is coming back.
Yeah, we're hiking and then whoops, somebody slips,
Whoops!
I guess.
Yeah,
Just kidding.
just
Just
disappearing.
kidding.
But yeah, it's tough.
It's tough out here. I mean,
Yeah,
but that's also like it's like one of the hardest but most rewarding parts of life, like making connections.
I
You know?
agree. I
Like
agree.
that's like where I find the most joy is like my connections to people.
I agree. That's the only way that you
Yeah.
feel human and
Yeah.
feel fulfilled. I don't understand people. Okay, I understand being a homebody,
Mhm.
but I will never. It's difficult for me to be friends with people who are like, ugh, I hate people. I hate
Yeah.
being around people, and I'm just like, why?
Yeah.
You need people. You need your
Yeah.
community. You need friends.
Yeah.
Like people who are antagonistic towards other people. I'm like, let's break that down a little.
Mhm. Mhm.
You need people.
Yeah.
You need people to be happy. Yeah, we
And
just
if
do.
like you're feeling lonely, like you can also just enjoy like the small little interactions. Like
Yeah.
I know that like when I have a really cute moment with a stranger, it like literally like makes my day for the next like 4
Me
hours.
too. You know what I love about New York is that it's just not uncommon for you to be able to chat up somebody and be like,
Mhm.
"Hey, like, what did you think?" Like, I'll be walking out of a movie theater and being like, "What did you think about the movie?"
Mhm.
Like to a random person,
Mhm.
or like I'm getting a coffee. I'm like, "Do you like this coffee place? How do you usually get it?" Like,
Mhm. Mhm.
just very easy to talk
Yeah.
to people. I like
Yeah.
that.
For the most part.
Yeah, for the most part.
For the
For the
most
most
part.
part. But no, yeah. I one last thing before we wrap everything, but I actually really like small talk. And, you know, I don't like this like societal hate on small
Mhm.
talk. Like people are like, "Oh, I hate small talk." And I'm
Mhm.
just like, "I don't know. What are you supposed to do? Like
Yeah.
unearth your trauma
Yeah.
before this like random person?" And I'm
Yeah.
like, somebody said this, but like sometimes when people overshare too much, it's because you want to force like intimacy onto
Hmm.
other
Oh, interesting.
people,
Okay.
and I understand that. And not that there's anything wrong with oversharing. I think it's really cute,
Mhm.
but I do see that a lot of people do that to establish like fake intimacy with others. It
Mhm.
was from Hacks. It was from Hacks. Yes, this is where it's from. But I think small talk is the best. You just need to have that. You need to be able to do small talk to, you know, to slowly create like
Mhm.
bonds of people.
Mhm.
What do you think about
Yeah.
small talk?
I like it too, like and I become a cringy millennial at work sometimes. I'm like it's
No,
Thursday and I'm
no,
like
honey, I'm
happy
good.
almost Friday everyone, like sometimes that stuff is cute. Like I get it.
That's
And I
me.
think like yeah, as you're putting it, I've overshared before to be honest, but it's also nice to like you don't have to be super vulnerable right away. You could also just be nice and charming.
Nice,
You know?
charming, and you guys could just you'll be so surprised at how far just talking about the weather goes.
Yeah.
Like recently, we had a heat wave and then
Yeah.
it became like 50 degrees.
Yeah.
I swear to God, some random person on the street, you could talk about that for a good
Yeah.
5 to 10 minutes.
Also learn how to compliment and remember stuff about people if you're
Hmm.
really seeking to build connection. I really like people like who can't remember anything about people, like is really like do you even care? Like I'm not saying like, and I have a bad memory, so I'm forgetting a lot, period. I'm forgetting. I forgot. There's like a
No,
meme about that too. Oh my god, my brain is so rotted. But anyways, I think it's so important to be able to. It's like a skill, and you have to build it. Giving compliments, asking questions, remembering things about people. Like you'd be surprised, and like I know it matters for me. But like when you remember a small thing your coworker said like the week before, and you bring it up, like, oh, how is your
yeah,
dog by the way? I remember you mentioned blah blah blah. It's like they'll really appreciate it. Or
that
like
is
giving like a
nice.
specific compliment. Like maybe like I like the way you did your hair today, or
I do like that. When
yeah,
people remember the little things
yeah,
about you, it is nice. It is
right. Like
nice.
I love how your ass looks at no, I'm kidding.
Oh, I love how your ass jiggles every time you fucking walk. Oh, it makes me so hard. I love
Don't
that.
do that. Don't do that. That
Don't do
is
that
sexual
at work,
harassment.
guys. Don't do that at
Yeah.
work. But
But
no, yeah.
compliments, small
I
talk. Love it.
yeah, love it.
Love
When
it.
people know how to complimenting is a real art.
Hmm.
You can do it in a way that
Hmm.
doesn't put a lot of pressure on somebody,
And
but
I get it. I used to be so socially anxious and introverted. And like I've become so different in this regard over the years, but it's like I'm sorry, you have to suck it up. You have to put your hair in a messy bun and get to work because, like, what can you? You have to work on it. Like, if you want to be a good person and like be around good people, you have to work on it.
But Christine is very, she's always been like that, but in a very cute and disarming and charming way. That's how we became friends with each other. That when we met, I remember she was super nervous because she didn't know any of Alicia's friends. And she's just like,
Uh-huh.
literally, but she, like, it was so easy to talk to her. She's just like,
Oh,
hey, Minju, like,
yeah,
I swear to God, you and I need to stick together because I don't know a single one of these
yeah,
bitches
yeah,
here.
yeah,
And, like,
yeah,
I did. See, like, she does it in such a cute, funny,
yeah.
and disarming way. So I'm just like, you know,
If there's hope, we can't all be naturally vibrant and charming as Minju. But
oh God,
if you're
no.
someone like me, there's hope. I've grown a lot in the past few years, okay? And like sometimes you know what I do? Like, and I think people appreciate it, or they think I'm freaking annoying, who knows. But you can use your awkwardness to your advantage.
Yes.
Like people, instead of like trying to fake it and be a different person, you can be honest. Like I do that a lot, especially when I used to be more anxious. I'd be like,
Hmm.
I would go up to someone and be like, "Oh my god, honestly, I'm like so anxious. Like I don't know people here. Like, but like, how are you? Like, I wanted to talk to you." And like, if when you do that, like, if they're a good person, which is I'm hoping you want to connect with good
Hmm.
people, like they will think that's cute and endearing.
That is cute and endearing. She does that. She's just like, hey, like, girl, I don't know anybody here, so
Yeah.
like, let's just talk
Let's
and
just
hang out.
chat for a bit, okay, and not look awkward.
That
Pretend we aren't.
honesty is just so refreshing,
Yeah.
and it's just very disarming and very nice to
Yeah.
talk to. So
Acting cool is so out.
no,
I'm over that.
we're gonna get so much hate for this, but like, low key, sometimes I see people like get that. I don't want to bring her up because I know I'll get so much hate for this. But Renee Rapp, you know how she has
Mm.
like a very bravado, like cool girl
Mhm.
attitude. Even when she's like talking to people, she's like, "Hey, Jimmy." Like when she's on like those late night shows. I
Yeah.
remember somebody
Yeah.
on TikTok called it out, but they're like imitating the way she acts at like
Uh,
late night shows. Like, "Sup, Jimmy?
yeah.
Stop
Yeah.
looking at
Yeah.
me like
Yeah.
you want me." Like
Yeah.
that kind of shit. I'm like, "Oh, that's so corny. Don't be like that in real life,
I don't think that
please."
that's too controversial. I feel like she would admit to it
I
too
would
that
feel like she would
she's
too.
not very like warm and inviting, you
She's
know?
definitely not.
Which like, we're different. Like don't fake it. Don't be
Yeah.
like a different person,
You know what?
but
I don't think people are offended because I think people love Renee Rapp because she is bitchy.
right.
Yeah.
And she knows it too.
Bitchy mean lesbian that everybody loves.
Yeah. Love a mean lesbian.
For real. But yeah, no. It's
It's time to like not try to be cool anymore.
yeah, just be yourself, be honest, and I think good things come out of that most of the time.
Most of the time.
Most of the time. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, two single girls over here, but in the friendship department we're doing pretty good.
Friendship department, fantastic.
Yeah.
Uh, love though.
Yeah, we're working on it.
We're working on
We're
it.
working on it.
It's hard. It's hard.
It's really rough out there
Yeah,
though. It's not just our fault,
we're
I
both
don't
like
think.
really avoidant, but in like bad ways. You
Yeah.
know, it's tough. Yeah,
Yeah, I'll talk to my therapist about it.
yeah, and I'll talk to my teddy bear at night. I need
No.
to get a therapist.
Yeah, it's time.
It's
You
time.
know, and I avoided it for the longest time. I feel like as like a little Asian American
Hmm.
with immigrant parents, I was like therapy.
That's not real.
Like what the heck? And like
Nuh-uh.
if you think you know everything about yourself, because I was really egotistical and I was like, I know everything there is to know about myself. I'm
Mhm.
already so introspective. It's still helpful to talk about your feelings.
I need to do that. I
Just so
need to
you
do
know.
that.
But it's okay if it doesn't work the first time. Not every therapist is a good fit, but it's worth
Which
trying.
how many? If you don't mind me asking, how many did it take?
Oh, I got lucky. Like I just got matched in my insurance and it was fine.
Oh,
Like,
amazing. Do you
but
see a social worker or do you see like a psych?
I don't know. I don't know.
I just asked this because my friend who's dealt with a lot of mental issues and she has like you know, her dad is a doctor,
Mhm.
but basically like just telling me that there is a clear distinction with the kind of treatment that you'll get.
Oh,
The thing
sure,
is,
sure.
like, your insurance will tend to only really cover like social workers and
Mhm.
not like psych Ds,
Mhm.
like people with doctorates in
Mhm.
psychology, which is different. Not to say that social workers can't provide good therapy
Mhm.
services, but the approach is gonna definitely be different.
That makes sense.
So,
That
I'll
makes
have to
sense.
see that. But
Worth a
yeah,
try.
guys, let's tune in. Hopefully next
Yeah.
time I get some therapy.
Go to therapy, y'all.
Yes, they go to
Yeah.
therapy, take your meds, like,
Woo!
know me, I've been taking my acne medication,
Whew,
so
you know, that does the trick.
that does the trick. Yeah.
Okay.
Love you
We're
guys.
good. We're good.
Mwah, mwah.